Hi, folks. This is Dr. Robert CYWES, and I am the CarbAddictionDoc, and this is the third in a mini-series we're doing called Simple Keto Done Right. And understanding addiction management, understanding a ketogenic approach to your carbohydrate addiction is so darn simple. And it's so cluttered and complicated by the idiots on the internet out there that don't just understand it. However, to understand addiction in general, and particular in carbohydrate addiction, there are some valuable tools out there. And today we're going to discuss a stepwise approach mentally to how you transition through to making this a new way of life. Because that's what it has to be. It has to be a lifestyle, a life free of using sugar and starch and snacking as an emotion management tool and developing other skills. There's a really good book if you're interested. It's a short, simple book that helped me tremendously in my personal journey. And the book is called Changing for Good. And it's by a group out of Connecticut called Prochaska. It was written in the 1990s. And this was a group of psychologists in Connecticut who tracked a cohort of patients who successfully quit smoking. And they looked at the stages of change that they went through. So it was an observational book, but we now use it therapeutically in addiction management. Prochaska, Changing for Good. You can get it on eBay, secondhand copies. You can buy it. You can Google it. It tells the story of successful transformation when it comes to an addiction like smoking. And carbohydrate addiction is no different. The exclusive value of carbohydrates in the modern era is for their emotion management, like nicotine. Nicotine has no other value than emotional endorphin activation, neither do carbohydrates. And I'll argue with anybody about that in the modern era, in this country, where there's a tsunami abundance of food. Secondly, abstinence is the objective. Not abstinence of food, but abstinence of carbohydrates. And then the final piece is understanding and replacing why you needed that addiction in the first place and developing a more effective, diverse self-care algorithm that is free of the drug. So, how do we do that in our practice? Well, a lot of people come in, pretty much everybody that comes into my practice is already an expert at failing weight loss programs. They may have lost some weight, they may have had surgery, now they've gained their weight back. So they've done well with diets, or maybe not, but they've failed. And that is because they tried to lose weight rather than understand why they gained the weight in the first place. Yes, you have to change what you eat, but that's simple. Look at the first video in the series. There's the answer, 2 steps. However, what's more important is understanding what the process of change is. And while I love Prochaska, we've created kind of our own system. When you have a conversation with me, the first conversation is to help you to understand, unique to you, unique to the individual, what and why the driving forces toward addiction, toward vulnerability to addictive behavior was. So that at the end of our first discussion, and I would urge you to text us, call us, WhatsApp us, set up a visit with me, 561-517-0642, to set up that consult where I will put this in a uniquely personal way with you specifically one-on-one. But the first step after that first conversation, or even after watching these videos, is ownership. Ownership of the fact that you have a carbohydrate addiction and understanding what that means. Understanding and allowing it to percolate through your head that you do not have and never will have a controllable relationship with a drug called carbohydrates. That is a tough ownership. Oh, I'm a carbohydrate addict. Maybe not. But that doesn't reflect the depth of ownership that you need. And it's a very humbling experience. It's like peeling an onion. We have to crack that outer hard shell first. That defensive, I'm not that person. Well, yeah, I am this person, but I can stop anytime. And the very next layer should result in tears, in sadness, in tears, in remorse, but also in an optimistic idea that you can and desire to change this. So the first step is ownership. Cracking that shell of denial. And there are levels and depths to ownership. The second, okay, I am a carbohydrate addict. Who cares? I love them. They're going to kill me. Who cares? The next step after ownership is the desire to change. And over time, the desire to change has to exceed the pleasure and the benefit of the drug itself. Whether you're a smoker, a heroin addict, a fat person, it doesn't matter. There has to be a desire to change. Then the third stage, the third thing that we want you to engage in, is understand the concept of care. And the drug that you have a relationship with is a very, very poor surrogate for self-care. Care is about generating emotional restitution from within, rather than not being able to feel good about who you are and using an external surrogate to give you that emotional reprieve. And a large part of care, of self-care, is returning your locus of validation. I did a good job, I'm proud of myself. Away from doing things for other people so that they will approve on your behalf conditionally, to developing an unconditional self-approval based on the effort you're putting in, irrespective of outcome. So care, finding ways to manage your emotional needs, to care for yourself that do not involve the crystal meth you're addicted to. So there's the desire and the development of self-care algorithms. And if you're going to do that, you absolutely need support. Support from within, perhaps support from a higher power, and definitely support from your surroundings. It's almost impossible to quit smoking if someone's blowing smoke in your face. And if someone's continuously offering you carbohydrates, or you feel compelled to have to bake at Christmas time because that's what you've always done for other people, you're doomed. Oh, I can handle this, I'm tough. BS, you can't, because this has to be lifelong. So having that support of self, no, I'm not going to bake for other people because I put myself in a vulnerable position. I'm not going to say yes to the cake you've just given me and have a little piece because you baked it for me and I don't want to offend you. No vegan is going to have a bite of steak because they're at your house and you offered it to them. They're arrogant about the fact that they support themselves. And if the people around you care about you, they will at least provide support for you, even if it's in a non-contributory manner. The next step is time. The people that come into my office, oh, what's these results right now? I have to have surgery. I want to lose the weight. I know what to do. They're of course going to crash and burn and fail. Because time to reflect, time to develop, time to break habits. As you saw in the last segment, habits have thresholds. And it takes time to cross that threshold where the habit of snacking is gone because you haven't done it for a long time. The habit of eating carbohydrates is gone because you haven't done it for a long time. The habit of going for a walk every day now exists subconsciously as part of the fabric of who you are because over time you forced yourself to do that. Invest in time. And time is crucial every day to give you time away from the rock face of your life. Time to get up inside your head and sort through some of the issues that are driving the emotional tension. Nobody just gets depressed. There's always a trigger. But all we feel is the depression or the anxiety or the stress, and we've disconnected from the issue that caused it. We need time in a safe space. I call it my fortress of solitude every day. Time to reflect, time to connect, time to dissipate emotional tension, and time to process the issues that cause the emotional tension. And the final pathway, the final step, is to repeat. Repeat, repeat, repeat. Because at first you're going to be cocky and arrogant and, oh, I got this, it's easy. And every time you crash and burn, and you will, with greater humility but greater experience, you learn. And every time you pick yourself up off the ground, you dust yourself off, and with humility but greater experience, reinvest and repeat the process. Eventually, you will get it right, because no addict successfully quits the first time. But we can successfully quit and have a last time. So the algorithm is, number one, ownership. Ownership that, yes, this is who I am. Desire that you want to change. Self-care. Establishing a diverse, positive self-care algorithm free of drugs. Having support from the surroundings and support from yourself. Investing the time it takes for that self-care, the time it takes to heal, the time it takes to break habits and create new ones. And repeating and repeating and repeating until it becomes your way of life. That is how addictions are managed. Not through some 6-week diet. Oh, I lost some weight. Who cares? I am the Carb Addiction Doc. If you want us to hold your hand through that process and be there with you every step of the way, and understanding and helping you to get from step to step to step, whether you've gone sideways, whether you've gone backwards, or whether you are going forwards, we are there along this journey with you as part of that support, as part of that care system. If you are interested, give us a shout. 561-517-0642. Let us be part of the process. I am the Carb Addiction Doc. If this has resonated with you, if you understand carbohydrate addiction through these 3 mini-series videos, then I've done my job. And if I just help you to think differently about your approach and approach it differently in a more successful way, I've done my job. Please leave comments below. Good comments, bad comments. If you want to troll me, knock me out. I don't care. But if you like our content, hit the support button, hit the subscribe button to support us, hit the like button, leave a comment. That's how we gain favor and gain traction and share this message elsewhere. Share it with friends, share it with other people. And if you really want to, at the bottom of this in the show notes, there's our PayPal account and there is our Patreon account. Throw us $1. We appreciate you out there. And your success is our drumbeat. I am the Carb Addiction Doc. Take care. See you next time.